of Universitas Terbuka.
Universitas Terbuka merupakan perguruan tinggi negeri ke-45 di Indonesia yang juga merupakan pelopor dan inovator pendidikan jarak jauh di Indonesia. Dalam upaya untuk terus meningkatkan pendidikan jarak jauh yang berkualitas dunia, layanan Universitas Terbuka didukung oleh 39 kantor daerah yang tersebar di seluruh Indonesia dan 1 pusat pengelolaan luar negeri. Fakultas Sains dan Teknologi Universitas Terbuka merupakan fakultas dalam bidang sains dan teknologi yang bertujuan menghasilkan lulusan yang kompeten, mandiri, dan kompetitif di bidang sains dan teknologi. Awalnya, fakultas ini dinamakan Fakultas Matematika dan Ilmu Pengetahuan Alam. Kemudian pada tahun 2019, berdasarkan Permenristek Dikti, berubah penamaan menjadi Fakultas Sains dan Teknologi atau FST.
Selamat datang di Fakultas Sains dan Teknologi Universitas Terbuka. Universitas Terbuka atau disebut UT menyelenggarakan proses pembelajaran secara jarak jauh dengan menggunakan berbagai media teknologi informasi dan komunikasi. UT sebagai institusi pendidikan tinggi berkomitmen dalam menyediakan akses pendidikan yang fleksibel, terjangkau, berkualitas, dan berdaya saing luas tanpa batas bagi seluruh masyarakat Indonesia. UT akan terus berupaya untuk meningkatkan mutu dan daya saing di kancah nasional maupun global. Fakultas Sains dan Teknologi atau disebut FST merupakan salah satu fakultas di UT yang dapat dipilih sebagai jembatan untuk mencapai karir tertinggi, profesional, dan pribadi yang berkarakter, sehingga dapat berkontribusi terhadap kemajuan bangsa Indonesia. Perkembangan mahasiswa FST yang meningkat dari tahun ke tahun menunjukkan kualitas dan kepercayaan masyarakat terhadap FST-UT yang tumbuh positif. FST menawarkan 8 program studi jenjang sarjana di bidang sains dan teknologi yang meliputi program studi S1 Biologi.
Program studi S1 Biologi mempersiapkan lulusan dengan penguasaan mendalam terhadap prinsip-prinsip biologi untuk mengoptimalkan potensi keanekaragaman sumber daya hayati Indonesia dengan menghargai kearifan lokal dengan didukung literasi digital, kemandirian, dan etika profesional yang kuat.
Program studi S1 Matematika.
Program studi S1 Matematika menghasilkan pembelajar mandiri yang dapat menerapkan konsep dan prinsip matematika dalam menyelesaikan berbagai masalah matematika dan terapannya. Lulusan program studi S1 Matematika FST-UT banyak berkiprah sebagai praktisi di bidang pemerintahan, industri, dan organisasi kemasyarakatan, asisten peneliti maupun akademisi.
Program studi S1 Statistika.
Program studi S1 Statistika dirancang untuk menghasilkan lulusan yang memiliki kompetensi akademik di bidang statistika dan penerapannya, serta mampu berpikir kritis, analitis, dan sistematis, sehingga dapat berkiprah di sektor industri, pemerintahan, maupun penelitian.
Program studi S1 Perencanaan Wilayah dan Kota. Program Studi S1 Perencanaan Wilayah dan Kota atau PWK memberikan pengetahuan dan keterampilan dalam menyelesaikan berbagai permasalahan sosial, ekonomi, lingkungan, dan infrastruktur dalam suatu kota dan wilayah. Program studi PWK-UT membersamai mahasiswa belajar untuk dapat menjadi seorang perencana yang handal, yang siap bekerja di berbagai bidang termasuk pemerintahan, perusahaan, maupun penelitian. Program studi S1 Sistem Informasi.
Program studi S1 Sistem Informasi dirancang untuk menghasilkan lulusan yang memiliki pola berpikir analitik dan sistematik di bidang sistem informasi yang dapat diterapkan untuk memberikan solusi terhadap berbagai masalah dalam masyarakat.
Program studi S1 Agribisnis.
Program studi S1 Agribisnis menghasilkan lulusan yang berdaya saing unggul yang berwawasan pengembang masyarakat di bidang agribisnis. Program studi agribisnis mencetak lulusan yang memiliki kompetensi sebagai wirausaha, manajer, dan pengembang masyarakat agribisnis.
Program studi S1 Teknologi Pangan.
Program studi S1 Teknologi Pangan menghasilkan lulusan yang kompeten di bidang industri pangan berbasis sumber daya lokal dan memiliki wawasan kewirausahaan. Lulusan prodi teknologi pangan dapat berkiprah sebagai manajer, wirausaha, regulatori, praktisi di bidang QA, QC, PPIC, R&D, dan bidang lainnya di industri pangan.
Program studi S1 Sains Data.
Program studi S1 Sains Data dirancang untuk menjawab tantangan zaman dan mencetak para ahli data handal di era revolusi industri 4.0. Para lulusan dibekali keterampilan ilmu statistika, pemrograman, visualisasi data, machine learning, dan big data analysis agar siap bekerja sebagai data scientist untuk menyelesaikan masalah real di berbagai sektor seperti bisnis, industri, dan sosial.
Desain kurikulum yang dinamis pada setiap program studi selalu di-upgrade dengan menyesuaikan perkembangan iptek dan dinamika pasar sehingga dapat memenuhi kebutuhan tenaga kerja profesional di Indonesia.
Fakultas Sains dan Teknologi Universitas Terbuka atau FST-UT memberikan berbagai layanan akademik yang mendukung kesuksesan belajar jarak jauh, meliputi layanan SSO MyUT, Virtual Reality, Lab Praktikum, Perpustakaan Digital. Mahasiswa dapat mengasah keilmuan dalam bidang sains dan teknologi melalui berbagai kegiatan, antara lain visiting lecturer, webinar nasional, seminar nasional Saintek, seminar internasional. Selain layanan akademik, Fakultas Sains dan Teknologi UT juga mendukung kegiatan kemahasiswa untuk mengasah soft skill dan hard skill mahasiswa melalui program kreativitas mahasiswa, program pembinaan mahasiswa wirausaha, program Merdeka Belajar Kampus Merdeka, Olimpiade, Dispor Seni, Inkubator Virtual Sains dan Teknologi, Prestasi Mahasiswa. Dalam mewujudkan pendidikan jarak jauh yang berkelas dunia, FST-UT telah menjalin kerjasama dengan dunia kerja, serta universitas ternama di dalam dan luar negeri. Kerjasama dilakukan dalam bentuk pengajaran, penelitian, dan pengabdian bersama, serta magang mahasiswa.
Belajar di UT memberi saya fleksibilitas untuk kuliah sambil bekerja, sekaligus melatih disiplin dan pola pikir kritis. Yang paling penting, UT mengajarkan keterbatasan, bukan halangan untuk bermimpi besar. Buat kamu yang sedang kuliah di UT, percaya diri, terus belajar, dan jangan takut melangkah lebih jauh.
Berkuliah di Fakultas Sains dan Teknologi Universitas Terbuka merupakan pengalaman yang berharga bagi saya. Sistem belajar yang fleksibel memungkinkan saya untuk mengatur jadwal kuliah saya kapanpun, dimanapun sesuai dengan kebutuhan. FST-UT bukan sekedar tempat kuliah, tapi tempat membangun masa depan.
Sekali lagi, selamat bergabung di FST-UT untuk masa depan yang lebih cerah. Faculty of Science and Technology, kreatif, inovatif, kolaboratif, FST-UT.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan, Rahayu. Monday, 8th of June 2026, live from Auditorium of Faculty of Science and Technology of Universitas Terbuka. Good afternoon and very warm welcome to the International Visiting Lecture 2026 with the theme of Gen Guidance and Counselling in the 21st Century. Let's give a round of applause for today's event. Okay. So I would like to inform to all participants that this visiting lecture is an event that proudly presented to you by the Faculty of Science and Technology of Universitas Terbuka. And first of all, allow me to extend our warmest greetings to the Honorable Speaker, Mr. Wazir Ali, M.A, M.Ed, M.Phil, from School Education Department, Ministry of Education, Balochistan, Pakistan. And also we would like to welcome our honorable guest today, the Dean and also all of the executive boards of the Faculty of Science and Technology of Universitas Terbuka, our moderator of today's event, Mrs. Rosa Andriani M. Aktoria, and also all of the guests and participants of the International Visiting Lecture 2026. And I would like to introduce my own self once again. So my name is Safira. It is such an honor for me to be the Master of Ceremony for today's event. So ladies and gentlemen, to begin our beautiful occasion today, let us rise for the national anthem of Indonesia, followed by the hymn of Universitas Terbuka. To all participants, please stand up. Thank you. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today, let us begin our honorable event by praying, seeking blessings for the activities we will embark upon today. At this time, we invite all attendees to observe a moment of prayer or reflection according to your respective faiths. Please start praying. Amin ya Rabbal Alamin. May God give His blessings for today's event. So ladies and gentlemen, let us hear a welcoming speech that will be delivered by the Dean of Faculty of Science and Technology of Universitas Terbuka. Please welcome Dr. Subekti Nurmawati, M.Si.
Oke, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. May peace and prosperity be upon all of us. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan, Rahayu. Firstly, let us extend our deepest gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for His mercy and grace which have enabled us to convene in good health for this occasion. It is a distinct honor and privilege to welcome you all, the Faculty of Science and Technology at Universitas Terbuka, to join in the webinar series. Allow me to extend my respectful greetings to our distinguished guests, the Honorable Mr. Wazir Ali, M.Ed, M.Phil from School of Education Department, Ministry of Education, Balochistan, Pakistan. The esteemed Dr. Sita Ali Farihati, as a Vice Dean for Academic Affairs, Dr. Pepi Rospina Pertiwi, Vice Dean for Students, Learning Services and Collaboration, the heads of study program within Faculty of Science and Technology, our distinguished moderator, Mrs. Rosa Adriani, M. Actuaria, lecturer in Actuaria study program, and to all dedicated FST lecturers and students joining us both in person in the auditorium and virtually. Ladies and gentlemen, we extend our profound appreciation to Mr. Wazir Ali for his willingness to share his extensive expertise and best practices with our academic community, where the topic is Gen Guidance and Counselling in the 21st century. It's a very interesting topic, I think. We recognize that Gen Z is growing up in a very different environment than previous generation like me. They were born and developed in the digital era, characterized by advance in information technology, social media, artificial intelligence, and rapid access to information. This environment provides numerous opportunities for development, but also present various challenges ranging from academic pressure, identity crisis, mental health issues, gadget addiction, to issues with social relationship and future careers. Through this webinar, we hope to gain deeper insight into guidance and counseling strategies that are appropriate to the characteristic of Gen Z, including how to build meaningful communication, develop resilience, improve mental health, and help them plan a productive and character-based future. Finally, I would like to thank the Mr. Wazir Ali as speaker who shared their knowledge and experiences, and all the participants who took the time to participate in this activity. I hope this activity provides the greatest benefit for the development of guidance and counseling services in the digital area. It is our fervent hope that this academic engagement will lay the groundwork for ensuring highly impactful collaboration in the future. Thank you. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you once again, Dr. Nurma, for delivering such a warm welcoming speech for this event. So, ladies and gentlemen, before moving on to the main agenda of this event, I would like to inform to all of the participants who joining this event. To all participants will get certificate of participation by filling the attendance form that will be shared by the committee at the end of this event. And we would like to inform that after the presentation will be followed by the Q&A session. So to all participants who are joining this event in person in this auditorium of the Faculty of Science and Technology of Universitas Terbuka, you can raise your hand and you can ask directly to our speaker today. And to all participants who are joining us virtually through Zoom, you can write down your question on the Zoom chat box, or you can ask directly by clicking the raise hand button. So, ladies and gentlemen, to guide us through this insightful session with the theme of Gen Guidance and Counselling in the 21st century, we are privileged to be joined by a distinguished moderator. And our moderator today for this session is someone who serves as a lecturer at the Faculty of Science and Technology of Universitas Terbuka, more specifically coming from Mathematics Study Program. So ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause as we invite Mrs. Rosa Andriani M. Actuaria to the stage to officially open the discussion and introduce our speaker.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology, Universitas Terbuka, our distinguished speaker, Mr. Wazir Ali M.A., M.Ed, M.Phil, respected leaders and colleagues of Universitas Terbuka. Dear participants joining us from various places, both on-site at the auditorium FST-UT and online via Zoom and YouTube. Thank you very much to our MC, Ms. Safira, for the kind introduction. My name is Rosa Andriani, lecturer of the Mathematics Study Program, Faculty of Science and Technology, Universitas Terbuka. It is truly an honor and a pleasure for me to serve as the moderator for today's session. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the International Visiting Lecturer 2026, proudly presented by the Faculty of Science and Technology, Universitas Terbuka. Today's theme is Gen Guidance and Counselling in the 21st century. Before we start, I hope everyone here is doing well this afternoon. For those joining us online, I hope your internet connection is stable and friendly today. And for those joining us on site, I hope you are comfortable and ready to enjoy this meaningful session. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today's topic is very relevant to our current educational reality. Gen Z grow up in a world shaped by digital technology, social media, artificial intelligence, rapid information, and constant change. Because of that, guidance and counseling today cannot only focus on academic issues, it also needs to address emotional well-being, digital wellness, self-awareness, career readiness, and social emotional development. And perhaps we can all agree that understanding Gen Z is both fascinating and challenging. Yeah, sometimes they learn very quickly, sometimes they are more digitally fluent than we are, and sometimes they communicate in ways that make us pause and think, all right, I need to understand this generation better, I think, right? That is exactly why today's discussion is so important. So now I would like to invite our speaker, Mr. Wazir Ali, to come to the front and to take the reserved seat. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Before we move to the main presentation, allow me to briefly introduce our honorable speaker. Our speaker today is Mr. Wazir Ali, M.A. M.Ed, M.Phil. He served as an English language teacher at the School Education Department, Government of Balochistan, Ministry of Education, Pakistan. He is also currently pursuing his PhD in Pedagogical Science at Universitas 11 Maret, Surakarta, Indonesia. His research interests include teacher professional development, the use of AI in education, STEM, technological education, policy process, and women empowerment. Mr. Wazir Ali has a strong academic background, including a Master of Philosophy in Political Science, a Master in Education, and a Master of International Relations. He has also been actively involved as a guest speaker, keynote speaker, visiting scholar, visiting lecturer, moderator, reviewer, and researcher in many academic forums and publications. His academic work discussed many important issues such as teacher well-being, teacher agency, education policy, AI in education, machine learning and guidance, and educational transformation, which makes him highly relevant to speak on today's topic. So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are truly fortunate today. We are not only welcoming a speaker with rich academic experience, but also someone who has engaged in education across different contexts, countries, and also cultures. Okay, Mr. Wazir Ali, before we begin the formal presentation, perhaps I would like to have a short warm conversation with you just to make the atmosphere a little bit relaxed. Is it okay for you?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, Mr. Wazir Ali, once again, welcome to Universitas Terbuka. We are very happy and honored to have you with us today. Since you are currently pursuing your doctoral study in Indonesia and have been involved in many academic activities here, let me begin with one light question. Okay, sir, how has your experience been so far in Indonesia, especially in interacting with Indonesia students, lecturers, and academic communities?
Thank you. Thank you so much. You have a very wonderful question. I hope everyone can hear me loud and clear. The experience, I have been living in Indonesia for almost 3 years. And based on my experience, I have found that Indonesian society is really polite. People are very friendly. And I have been invited to more than 25 universities in last 3 years. So it was something to learn, and I have been to entire Java. I went to East Java, West Java, and I have been living in Central Java. And this is my second time to be invited in Jakarta. Before Eid, I was there to be invited in 2 different universities in Bogor and Bekasi. And this is the second time I have came to Jakarta as a speaker. Otherwise, I have came to Jakarta 4 times. I have been to Bandung, to Surabaya, Malang, Solo, Jogja, and nearby towns. And I have seen that Indonesian people are very fond of tourism by their self. For them, weekend is really a weekend. Before that, I never have any experience of having a weekend. In Pakistan, weekend doesn't mean the weekend. It means a day you have to be at home, nothing to do. But in Indonesia, weekend means 3 days, 4 days, you can go out with your family. In Pakistan, we have some different type of society. In this hall, I can see that more than 90% female attendance is there. But if you go to Pakistan, India, or Bangladesh, or even to the Arab continent, so that is opposite. 90% male will be there and 10% female will be there. Either students, either lecturers, or even the working class. So this is a huge difference of the society. So in Indonesia or Malaysia, as a woman, you can go to masjid and offer prayer. In Pakistan, no woman goes to masjid. This is a huge difference of the society, of the culture. So many good things, few negatives are also there, but overall, I have seen that this nation is more polite, more friendly. I have still not yet any occasion where I have seen any violent Indonesian, either male or female with me. In Pakistan, it is very common. Yeah, you will find so much violence. So this is a huge difference of the society's living style. And even in the education system, here I have seen that professors are really helpful to you. And this is my 5th semester, and I am about to finish my PhD. Yeah, last May, in the second week of May, I have done my seminar hasil, so I just have to do my final seminar, and I have did my Scopus publications, and then I have to finish my PhD. But in our institutions, it is a bit difficult to finish your PhD on time or even masters. I did my masters 2.5 years, and now I'm finishing my PhD in 2.5 years. So now you can compare that PhD is difficult or masters is difficult. So over there, environment is not really as faster as things are here. And the huge difference I have seen, the food. In Indonesia, food is entirely different. Here, people say that if you didn't eat nasi, it means you didn't eat food. But in Pakistan, nasi is a supplement food, not a primary food. Over there, we have wheat, vegetables, so many other things. But in Indonesia, obviously because of its weather, its society, so things are different. In Indonesia, you have only 2 weathers. Either it is raining or not raining. But in Pakistan, we have different 5 weathers. We have spring, we have summer, we have autumn, we have winter, and then we have 2 months rain season. So we have green mountains like Indonesia, green fields like Indonesia. But one thing which Indonesia is missing, there is no winter. In Pakistan, we have winter season and we have snowfall over there. So there are so many differences, but it was a very beautiful journey to be at Indonesia. And I hope that I could find a job at Terbuka, so to be here, not to go back to Pakistan. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. That is very wonderful to hear, actually. So you love Indonesia, I think, because you have been many places in Indonesia, and you already told me about the differences about Pakistan and Indonesia from the lifestyle and the institution and the others. I believe many of us are happy to know that Indonesia has become an important part of your academic journey and also your life. I think hopefully today's session will also strengthen the academic friendship between Indonesia and Pakistan, Mr. Wazir. Okay. I want to ask a second question, since today's topic is about Generation Z, and since Gen Z is so closely connected to technology, social media, and fast communication, I am curious, in your personal observation, what is one unique characteristic of Generation Z students that you find especially interesting or different from previous generation maybe?
Thank you. The key difference between the Generation Z and the generation we have, or even the older generation than us, is that they are really capable enough of adopting the technology. For generations like us, it is a bit difficult to adopt the technological change which is rapidly happening. Because of this thing, the older generations can't really cope up with the technology. But for the Generation Z, it is easier for them to adopt and move on. So this is something maybe because of having so many gadgets in their life, and we don't have the access because when we were at schools, so there wasn't any gadget like this. And radio was the key component for us. After that, television appeared, and then we found television or the computer after 2010. And then we have seen laptops after a decade. So, but when they came, so the technology was coming in their era. So that's something which is easy for them.
Thank you very much, sir. That is very interesting. And I think many of us can relate to that. Generation Z can truly surprise us actually with their creativity, confidence, and speed and adaptability, like Mr. Wazir Ali has already told me before. But at the same time, I think they also need understanding, guidance, emotional support, and safe environment to grow, I think, because they are growing in the digital era. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this short conversation has given us a warm and meaningful opening for today's discussion. Now, without further ado, let us move to the main presentation. Mr. Wazir Ali, the screen and the time are yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, moderator, for this wonderful introduction and this discussion. I will start with the name of Allah, who is most merciful and beneficial. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I am Wazir Ali. I am a PhD student at Sabalas Marat University, Surakarta. And today I'm going to talk about Generation Z's guidance and counseling in 21st century. So I'm really grateful and honored to visit one of very large and bigger universities of Indonesia, University of Terbuka. I'm very grateful to the Dean, Faculty of Science and Technology, Dr. Subekti Nurmawati. Sorry if I can't really pronounce the names very well. Sorry. M.Si, Safira, Alicia, and our wonderful moderator, Rasa Andriani. And the audience, the lecturers, and the students, thank you so much for joining this session. So I will try to explain that why we are going to discuss this topic. As we see that Generation Z is a really important component of our society at this stage. As we see, they are really good at using technology. They are habitual of using technology, but that technology has brought a gap between human interaction and machine interaction. Because of using most of the time to be engaged with the machine interaction, they have less human interaction, which is really going to affect them badly. Even in the current era, or maybe in the coming years, it will be really difficult for them to get the pace which the older generations has. As like for the older generations, it is very difficult for us to use the technology, but for them, for the Generation Z, it is really difficult to cope up with the people, with the society, and engage with the issues they are going to face. So they have mental health issues. For getting good grades, they have more pressure, and because of being connected to digital media, they are addicted with the devices they have. So we will try to see how we can, as educator, help them and how we can really facilitate to be a bridge between the technology and the young generation. So if we move to slide 2. Yeah. So Generation Z is mostly those who were born in between 1990s to 2000. So they are mostly those kids who got the devices after they came to the society, and especially when we look at the current era, the usage of AI is really shaping up, and in education, health sector, everywhere we see that AI is everywhere present. And that Generation Z is very good at using these devices, handling these things, but for fewer people, it is really difficult because they did not come to that era. They are always digitally connected, and if we look at their social things, so they are very less. Digitally, they are always connected with the people, and they think that their world is within their computer, within their laptop, or within their mobile phone. So they always are addicted to the things which are not practical a bit. So it is a core concern in coming days for us to really think about how we can really bring them out of anxiety if they are always using these gadgets. If you move to the next slide. So for that, we really need counseling to help them, to discuss. The most important thing is for the counseling, when these kids have the mental issues, so they need support from the others to come out of anxiety, come out of the depression, because these gadgets are mostly affecting their mental health. If once their mental health is affected, so obviously then their physical health is also damaged. So for that, they really need guidance and support. Guidance support in these terms that they need some sort of experience from the people who can really teach them, who can really guide them that how much time you really need to spend with the physical environment and how much time you really need to spend within your the need and the time you have to use your gadgets or something else. So with that, they have some sort of academic pressure to get good grades, to achieve something, to get a job. So obviously career becomes also an issue. So in a digitally connected world, so they have to suffer a bit because some pressure from society, some pressure from university or the colleges, and some real life experience pressure is also on them. So they really need some sort of guidance in all these aspects. So for the mental health support, Generation Z really has to think about, because if there is a healthy mind, so obviously that really supports good physical activities as well. So there are some challenges for them, like I have already discussed. They have academic pressure on them. Then they have social media. All the time they are connected. They see what people are doing, how people are going to act. So they try to just copy that thing. So that really affects them. So always being in just one single room or just staying online, they feel more anxiety and pressure of different things. So maybe sometimes they can be the victim of cyberbullying as well. So these things are going to also put more pressure, some sort of harassment, maybe especially for the females, is also negatively going to affect them. Then uncertainty of future, isolation, and sometimes identity pressure. That what is my identity, what I am doing, what I'm going to achieve, and what I have to really achieve in all this. So these are really big issues which really need to be addressed. And for that, it is really important that we really have a very balanced and healthy life full of different activities where we have some sort of physical activities as well, where we have to go out to walk, to do some exercise, go for swimming, to do something or stay active, meet some friends, talk something, or we have to limit our screen time as well that, okay, this is enough, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, not more than that. But when we don't have the physical life, so we do not really consider these things. We really, for this, it is really important to build positive and real friends where you can go and discuss anything. And you have, as a teenager, they really need some goals to achieve. So if they have a bigger goal, so they need some small goals to achieve. So if there is a motive in life, so it becomes really easier to achieve something. And even either on social media or in their personal life, everyone has to be kind to others. We need to hear to each other. Maybe someone is struggling, our colleague, any student, or our friend is going through any stigma, so we really need to hear them. So this is something which is not just important for the Generation Z, but for entire society as well. So this is something we really need to consider positively. If we go to the next slide. So for the counseling needs, we really need some sort of programs where we really need to discuss mental health, how to bring people out of stress and anxiety. And at the academic front, as a teacher, as a mentor, we really need to discuss and bring some sort of healthy activities and strategies which can really help our students not to be just engaged in all the activities they have online, but physical activities are really important. And I think that, in my opinion, doing discussions is the best way to keep our students more engaged. When they have discussions, they can share their thoughts, they can share their opinions, and this way, maybe sometimes they can share their problems as well. So this becomes easier when we can give them time, when we can really ask them to discuss what they are really going through. And for career planning, as a lecturer, as a dean, we really need to think about that it is our responsibility to make some sort of arrangement where we can really discuss what sort of careers they can really take, how they can be successful in whatever the dreams they have, whatever achievements they want to do, if we really think and discuss these things in those forums. And for the digital wellness, it is really important to ask them if is there any issue for them or online safety they require. So we really need to think about these protocols. And in the end, we really need a good social environment. We have to be friendly. We have to make more friends rather than just online friends. No, we need some offline friends as well to discuss something in a forum. So for academic success and career, as I already discussed, that as they are in an age group where they don't really know where they need to go. So it is really important that they have some sort of awareness for the future, that what sort of future they can really select, what kind of job they can really do, what are their interests, and how they can be valuable in the society. So it is really important to be discussed with these, what kind of subject they really like, what kind of aim they have, how they can really achieve their goals. It is really important to be discussed, and what kind of skill they have and how they can really move through these skills and subjects to achieve something in their career. So for them, it is really important that we give them small goals to achieve. Slowly and gradually, they can really improve and move to in a way where they can really make a good decision for their future, and they can really explore what kind of career really supports their abilities. So this is something we have as a society, not just individual level, but at collective level, we have to really think about and do. And then we really have to give them strong belief that they can really do it, they can achieve it. Without believing them, I think it is really difficult for them that if their parents can't really believe in them, so they can't really achieve anything. So for that, it is really important that they have the motivation. If they have some sort of motivation from society, from their own people, so they can really achieve something in a better way. So for the mental health, for the Generation Z, counseling support that really care. So it is really important that emotionally we have to think about their well-being. Like few years ago, it was really important to think about the physical well-being. But nowadays, mental well-being is more important, even not just for the Generation Z, but for even everyone. Because everyone is going through something. As a mother, as a father, as a sister, as a brother, as a teacher, as a dean, as a teacher, we all are going through something. All the time we are thinking. And then we are going to social media and we see that the world is changing. Someone is doing something else. Someone has changed the profession. And we also try to be like them. But we can't really achieve all the goals which we see at social media. And we really believe on social media very quickly rather than just inquiring or going to see that, okay, really this is happening or not, because of fake news, because of different misinformation or miscommunication. So mental well-being is really a big issue for us in this era. So we really need to think about, and as a counseling supporter, we really need to think that how we can really connect our people, how they can really live without their gadgets and cell phones for some hours a day. Except they go to bed, they have to realize that they need some time for the family, for the friends, for some sort of exercise or something where they can really listen to each other, where they can really talk to each other. Maybe they can really discuss anything which is not relevant maybe to any subject or something, but it is really important to discuss rather than just being involved in the gadgets is really going to affect badly. And then it is really important we need to sit together to discuss and give follow-up to each other. So if we can really have clear direction in life, so it is really important we can really make better decisions for our better future. So we really need to discuss more. We have to really consider this really important aspect in our life, that discussion is really going to resolve many issues. So for the modern approaches, for the Generation Z is like there is digital response. So we can really have so many online resources, virtual assistants is also available. And then we have to really think about how we could be really strong. We have to focus on what kind of values we have and how we can really strengthen the potential our students has. So we really need to think and discuss this thing, and we really need to make sure that their decision making is really good, and they have to think about their culture. They have to really be connected with their basic roots. What is their culture, where they come from, who they are, and what they have really to contribute for this society is really important. So for that, we really need collaboration, like students, teachers, parent teachers, and the specialists from the field. So we really need to connect for all these things to be more engaged in our world for a better mental well-being and the physical well-being as well. So if we can really provide a safe digital environment to our family, to our children, to the Generation Z, so this can really be helpful for them, and they could be really proactive and connected to the real life as well. So digital wellness is also really important, that especially when we really look at digital media. So cyberbullying is a really key issue at this current era. So online harassment is happening, online fraud is happening. So many issues like this are taking place. So we really need to think about, like sometimes we try to find our love online. Maybe we think that offline we can't really find it. Maybe we are not really happy with the partner, with the friend we have. So we really look for something online. So if offline people can cheat us, so why online they can't cheat us? So we have to be aware that we have to be in a real world rather than in a virtual world where we think that, okay, whatever people are just going to post on Facebook or Instagram, this is the truth. Maybe this is not a real picture. So we really need to go for the real picture, real life. So this is something we really need to think, as screen addiction is a big issue in this time, and misinformation. Sometimes whatever we just see on the social media and we believe that this is true, but we really need to verify it. Either it is true or not. And then the privacy is a big issue. Sometimes we see that people are having privacy issues. So that's why we really need to think what we should really post on the social media and how much restrictions we keep ourselves when we are going to do something on social media. And currently, as we all are in the academia, so we see that there is a lot of AI usage, and sometimes there is a misusage of AI or wrong usage of AI. AI is going to help us, but if we really just misuse it, so obviously it has really some sort of issues, and especially for Generation Z, it is really going to badly affect them. So distraction always comes from digital ways, like if we are always connected, so we have some sort of distraction always. So we really need to consider these things, and we have to think that how much connectivity we really need. So counselors' role is really important here in all entire environment, because they have to be active listeners, they have to keep listening, and they don't have to be judgmental, because if I am a counselor for someone, so my duty is to hear their stories, what they're really going through, what sort of emotional support people need. So we really need to bring someone who is in stress, to bring them out of stress, especially for if we are talking about Generation Z. So we really need to guide them for a better career. We really need to give them support, and we really help them to make their own decisions rather than taking their own decisions. No, we just really need to support and provide good suggestions. So this way we can really encourage self-awareness about people. And it is really important that when we are going through social and mental issues, so we lose confidence. So especially Generation Z really needs self-confidence. So we really need to give them the confidence to solve their problems. So in the future, they could really help someone else. So this is really important, that these all are the challenges which are there when we are really connected all the time to the digital media. But this way, counseling can really help to overcome all these issues. So counselors could be friends or change makers in the society. So Generation Z has to thrive with all these things working together with the society. So if we look at the Generation Z, so all people are not going through the problems, but few are really passionate, they are really active, and they have really good purpose in life. They can think, they can bring a change, even at local level, even at the national level, international level. So change is happening everywhere, and society isn't really equal everywhere. All Generation Z isn't really going to the bad phase, but sometimes there is a bad phase in life where it is really difficult to get out of that. So sometimes they are really producing something remarkable. They are really working for the climate change as well. They are thinking and discussing mental health issues with the people, and they are really investing something in education. They are doing innovations, robotics, and something if we look at the things, so these all are being generated by the Generation Z. So they are really doing some remarkable job as well. And they are talking about the social justice, especially when last year in Indonesia, it was really remarkable to see that Indonesian youth was on the roads to protest. There was a bill from, I think, from the government. And when we really look at a few months back in Bangladesh, same thing happened. The Generation Z came onto the roads, they protested, and the previous government has to flee away. Same happened in Nepal. So this way, Generation Z is doing something very good as well. But to some extent, there are some issues as well which we really need to consider. So Generation Z is bringing change, and Generation Z is the future. So we really need to think about all these important things, how we can really count and connect them very well. So if we really come to the conclusion of this presentation or this discussion, what we really have discussed, that Generation Z is really productive generation, but because of being connected all the time, so sometimes few people get addicted of social media or digital media, so which is really going to harm their mental health. So if their mental health is affected, so their physical health is also affected. So there must be a balance between social media, digital media, and the physical world. And as a teacher, as a mentor, as a lecturer, as a professor, I think that we have to jump in to discuss these things. And we have to make a forum for them if they are going through any difficult issue. So we really need to explore and discuss with them. So maybe we can really find something for them to improve. So there isn't any single thing which can really be done, but we really have to believe in the generation that they are really doing something, and we have to make sure that if someone is struggling, so we have to help them. Not just to the Generation Z. As I have discussed, we have so many friends, maybe they are going through the difficult phase of their life. So we really need to give them support. We really need to discuss. And this discussion, I think, can really make sure that everyone has a healthy habit in their life. So for Generation Z, we really give them tasks which bring curiosity for them. There must be a purpose for them to achieve something, to do something, and the plans they have, maybe small goals to achieve the medium goals, then the bigger goals, to what they really can do it, and the resilience they must have in their life. And I really love one quote that actions speak louder than words. So we really need to take action rather than just discussing theory. Practical is really important in our life. And for Generation Z, it is really important that, okay, they must be online all the time, but they have something physical in their life as well. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wazir Ali, for the very insightful and inspiring presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we have all gained many valuable insight from the session. Based on today's presentation, we have seen that Generation Z is not simply a digital generation, but a generation with unique characteristics, unique needs, and unique challenges. From the presentation, we learned several important points. First, Generation Z is shaped by digital culture, speed, connectivity, visual communication, and social awareness. And second, their counseling needs are broad and multidimensional. They need support not only in academics, but also in mental health, emotional well-being, identity, social relationship, and future planning. Third, the presentation reminds us that mental health support is essential, not optional. The anxiety, online comparison, cyberbullying, academic pressure, loneliness, and uncertainty about the future are very real issues for many young people today. Fourth, we also learn about academic success and career readiness, which involves self-awareness, subject choices, skill development, and preparation for future pathways. Fifth, the presentation highlighted the importance of modern counseling approaches that are digitally responsive, strength-based, preventive, inclusive, and collaborative. Guidance and counseling must evolve together with the student we serve. And lastly, we were reminded that the role of a counselor today is not only to solve problems, but also to become an active listener, emotional supporter, strength builder, career guide, and bridge to resources. Okay, I think this is very important reminder for all of us as educators. Sometimes we do not only need to teach students, but also to listen to them, understand, and walk alongside them. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will continue to the discussion and question and answer session. For participants joining us online, if you have any question, please write them in the Zoom chat box by mentioning your name and institution. If time permits, participants may also use the raise hand feature to ask directly. So please feel free to ask. This is a wonderful opportunity to interact directly with our speaker. So let us make this session engaging and meaningful. So while waiting for a question from participants, allow me to begin with one opening question because this theme is really interesting for me, sir. Among emotional well-being, academic support, career guidance, personal growth, and relation support, which area do you think should become the priority of Generation Z today?
Can you repeat the question?
Okay. Among emotional well-being, academic support, career guidance, personal growth, and relationship support, which area do you think should become the priority for Generation Z today?
Thank you. This is a really wonderful question where you have mixed entire presentation, which we have discussed. Every aspect is important, but it depends because of social pressure is on the Generation Z to get a good job, to get a good career is really important, which is bringing more pressure to them. Because as they are growing, so there is a pressure that when you are going to do a job, when you are going to start earning, how much time parents can really facilitate you. So this question really brings more pressure, and this way they have to go through, and this way when they are under pressure, especially when they have mental stress, so they have to be more online all the time, looking for friends, just either playing games or doing something which can really take away their time, and they don't have any physical contact with the people. So they really discuss with their friends all the time that, oh, how I can really get a job or how I can get out of this pressure. So this mounting pressure brings more and more pressure rather than bringing any solution. So I think that from the parents as well, we really need to think that if we can really guide them before starting any career or choosing any subject that which can really be helpful for them, whatever they really like, I think that it is better for them to choose rather than being forced to go for any subject or any career.
Thank you very much, sir. So, for conclusion, emotional well-being is indeed the foundation, I think, right? Because when students feel anxious, lonely, or pressure, like you already told, it becomes difficult for them to focus, make decisions, and also prepare for the future, I think. Okay, I think this answer also remind us that counseling should be holistic. Academic, sporting, and career planning are important, but they need to be connected with student emotional condition and personal development. Thank you, sir. Now, we will give an opportunity to one participant to ask directly. Okay. I would like to invite Mr. Diki to turn on the microphone and deliver the question briefly. Please, Mr. Diki, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Wazir. I'm Diki. I have a question. Every time I read or I listen to a discussion about Gen Z, it is always about their relation to social media. So now, what the problem that Gen Z has? Is it about they have a certain challenges or certain pressure, or because of their dependence on the social media? Because we know that nowadays no Gen Z live without social media. Perhaps some people in remote area, their Gen Z live without social media. But is it, do you agree with me that the problem is about their relationship with social media? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Your answer is inside your question. Not just about Generation Z is addicted to social media. We all are addicted to social media. The problem is we are given all these gadgets without education. The main thing is if we are bringing anything to the society, so we have to think that what will be the benefits and what will be the disadvantages. We just think about the advantages. Now, there is a child, 3 years, 4 years, okay? Her mother wants to do something, or she is busy with her laptop or writing a paper. So how she can engage the baby? Take this gadget. Now baby started playing. After 3 months, after 6 months, now baby cannot even play with anyone else until he has the gadget. So we made our society like this. We were not aware about that, okay, this laptop is given to us, we have bought. Now everyone has at least 2 cell phones. If one is on the charge, we are using the next one. So this is not the problem of Generation Z. This is problem of everyone. And then we have thinking that, oh, I have headache. Why I have headache? Oh, if you are looking at the screen for 4 hours, all the time you are looking over there, so you have the problem. Then sometimes we think that, okay, we have some sort of mental pressure. Why? Oh, my cell phone is not charged. I don't have time to post something. Now, it was really surprising to see in Indonesia that people are eating and they are online. Live video is going. What is the real purpose of this? If you are eating anything, so why it is really important for the entire world to see that you are just eating and people are watching you at TikTok on or any other social media. So when we live in a virtual world where we are not connected to the real world, so these problems happen. Now you are older, so you come from the generation when there was only radio, the main medium of getting information. Then after you, when we born, so there was television. So now after us, there is Facebook, there is Instagram, and so on. And for recent 2 years or 3 years, there is AI. So we are becoming more and more engaged and habitual of these things. And among all of us, we don't have any discussion outside these things. Even we are discussing with the friends, our eyes on our social media. So we are getting habitual of these things, and we are not thinking that these things are not just taking our time, they are taking our energy, they are taking our relations, they are taking away our friends, our relatives. So we really need to consider wisely that what is really important for us. Human interaction is more important, or just virtual interaction is more important. So that's why we really need some sessions on these important things to realize that we really need to go back to our basics. We really need to do some exercise. We really need to spend some time with the family. We really need to watch television for some time, to do some practical activity. We cannot really blame the Generation Z. We all are part of this problem. Thank you. Thank you so much for this wonderful question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. And also, Mr. Diki, I really like your point about digital wellness. It should be taught through awareness, not of punishment. Instead of saying do not use your phone too much, perhaps we can help them ask, how does this habit affect my focus, my emotion, and my future, like that. Okay. Maybe another question from this forum. Okay, Mr. Subekti, please.
Thank you.
Okay.
I would like to continue the question by Pak Diki about social media engage with our Gen Z. There is a phenomenon that currently the Gen Z more appropriate, more convenience to consult with AI, with chatbot, I think. And what do you think about that? Probably the Gen Z, if they have a problem, they automatically, directly ask to AI to get the answer about the problems. So I think they don't need to communicate with person, probably with family. I think this a problem of all of us, I think, currently. So what do you think about that?
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is the core problem which I have been discussing for last half hour, that we are more connected to the virtual world than to the real world. When we don't have all these gadgets, so there was a family gathering. For breakfast we were sitting together, for lunch we were sitting together, for dinner we were sitting together, we were going out with the friends, we were having more discussions. Like I come from a rural village where still we all the friends sit in a circle, especially in the night, and we can discuss any topic, we can share what someone is really going through, how we can really any problem. But when we are looking at the urban centers, it is really difficult. Maybe you don't know when you met your friend last time, when you have a school gathering together. No. So this is a problem, that when Generation Z got AI, or we all have got AI, so we are thinking that AI can really resolve every problem. AI cannot resolve our problems. AI can discuss with us. So if we are going, and then we think that it is our privacy issue. If we can share our problem with someone, so maybe he or she can discuss with someone else. So if we have this kind of fear in our mind, so how we can really discuss with someone? So this is something I have realized in last 2 or 3 years here in Indonesia, that so many people who are sitting next to you, They are suffering so much. They are going through so much, but they don't dare to talk with you because they think that maybe you don't have the time or maybe you are not interested in listening. So this is something that the social media has connected us with the million peoples, but social media has disconnected us from the family, from the friends, from those who can really help us, who can really support us. So this is something we really need to understand that, okay, on social media we have thousands of friends, but we need at least 2-3 real friends with whom we can sit, discuss, share, and even as a human, when we cry, so we feel better. So until things are inside our body, so they keep hurting. So we really need that counseling for everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wazir Ali. Related to the previous question from Mrs. Nurmawati, how can educational institution create this kind of counseling environment, sir? Especially for students who may be afraid or hesitant for us help. We face the student like that condition. How about your answer, sir?
Thank you. Now, you all belong from academia. Okay, sometimes we cannot really discuss anything in a public place. So if every university has at least one center for that, and there are few designated people, like maybe if deans, vice deans are very busy, so from the second cadre, they can hire few people for that thing. Especially because in every university there is a guidance and counseling department, especially in FKIP faculty, or if we look at medicine faculty, so over there is also psychology department. So we really need to think that, because if universities can't really start this thing, so from where it will begin? Universities are the mothers of all institutions. Universities are making the policies. So if universities can really initiate at the higher level, so this will be gradually till the schools and the offices, and there would be something which can really help people. And if you are going through these problems, so there are psychologists, so you have to pay the fees, go to them and discuss. But at the university, it is really important that universities has to initiate, or even they can really fix a day where they can really ask students or even teachers, so they can come and discuss their problems with each other, so they can really give them good feedback. Maybe they cannot resolve their issues, but they can really give them the feedback from the experience what they have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. That is very important reminding for us. I also appreciate your point about guidance and counseling department. So institutions need to create a culture where asking for support is seen as strange for students who seek for help, I think. Okay, and maybe next question from the audience. Okay, Mrs. Nisa. Miss Nisa, please.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Rosa, for the opportunity. Thank you very much for Mr. Ali for the insightful presentation and the sharing of knowledge. Welcome again in UT, because you're the part of one of the participants in Pijar summer course. Okay, Mr. Ali, I would like to ask about how institutional or university like us, UT, provide the environment to students to seek help that is safe with empathic environmental or confidential in a distance learning system like UT? Thank you.
Thank you. Your question is very valuable and important that you are talking about distance learning, as we have earlier discussed about offline classes. But obviously, when their students are there who are learning from long distance, obviously they also have the same issues. So for that, I think we need to have similar kind of sessions. If we can't really have the sessions, so we can at least give them a Google form to at least give their feedback. Like in the end of every meeting, we ask students to put their attendance. So same way, I think that we can have some sort of initiatives where we can really not discuss their identity, but we can be aware that if any student has some sort of issue, so based on those issues, there could be some suggestions or some implementations which could be really done. So I think that if there is a will, so there is a way. If there isn't any will, there is no way. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wazir Ali, for your answer. Any question from this forum again? Enough? Okay.
Good afternoon, Mr. Waris Ali and moderator. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ismail Hasfi. I have a question for you, sir. As educators and members of Generation of Z, we are witnessing rapid cultural shift driven by social media, AI, and digital lifestyle. In a world facing economic uncertainty and political instability, what key competencies should be young people develop to remain resilient and adaptable in this season? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. As we are discussing about Generation Z, so Generation Z is not a generation like previous one where they can really tolerate whatever our political leaders have been doing in last so many decades with us. Especially as I told you, I gave you the example of Indonesia last year as the government increased the oil prices and something. So they came to the road and they demonstrated that they are not going to allow this thing. So because of that fear, Indonesian government, since Iran and America war, did not increase any fuel prices yet. But if I tell you about Pakistan, so Pakistan government has increased 70% oil prices in last 2 months. Because over there, youth is not maybe that competent, or youth thinks that maybe our political leaders can't really resolve for any issue. So it is really important that for the Generation Z, they have to be aware about their civil rights and responsibilities. And if we can really educate them about that, so it becomes easier. But when we look at the Global South, so Global South is always struggling with such problems. And Global South has the most engaging youth and Generation Z. But because in few countries, there are some restrictions, so they can't really openly discuss or go against the discrimination in society is happening either at the social front or the political front. But if in countries like in India or even in Bangladesh or in Nepal, Generation Z came to the roads and they changed their governments. And same way, whatever happened in Indonesia, so Indonesian government is still thinking what to do or not to do. So some Generation Z is really productive, they are really doing well, but they are human, so they have some sort of problems as well. So we really need to consider all the positives and the negatives at the both hands. And then we really need to make a policy for our generations that how we can really empower them more. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, perhaps some of you are still reflecting on the presentation. I would like to remind you, due to the limited time, we may only take one final question. Okay, I will take this final question for me, sir. In your opinion, what is one simple thing that I am as a lecturer can start doing tomorrow to support Generation Z student better?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't think so that there is a fixed line to go with, or there is a one measurement for every lecturer or every student. Everyone has own perspectives, everyone has own opinions, everyone can differ with someone else, but most important thing is we really need to think. We really need to see the classroom keenly. We need to observe. If one student is continuously under stress or he's not performing well, so it is not really important that in front of class we say something to him or her. Maybe in our own office we can call him, we can discuss with that student that is there any problem that you can't really discuss in front of class. So here you can sit and talk about that. So I think that this is the best way that we can really help those who are really struggling in their life. So maybe it could be emotional well-being issue, mental well-being issue, physical well-being issue. So if there is a discussion about that, so it can really connect and maybe there could be a good solution for that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. That is very warm and practical answer, I think, because we need to observe as a lecturer, because sometimes meaningful change start from a simple question such as, how are you and what support do you need? So it reminds us that guidance not always begin with a formal counseling session. It can begin with daily care and human connection. Yes, sir? Okay. Okay, thank you very much for Mr. Wazir Ali for your comprehensive answer and valuable insight. Ladies and gentlemen, from today's presentation and discussion, we can conclude that guidance and counseling for Generation Z in the 21st century must be adaptive, inclusive, preventive, collaborative, and responsive to real-life challenges. So Generation Z needs guidance that understand their digital lifestyle, support their emotional well-being, strengthen their academic and career readiness, also build their social emotional skills and help them become resilient individuals. Okay, today's session reminds us that counseling is not only about solving problems, it is also about listening, understanding, empowering, guiding, and working alongside students. As educators, lecturers, counselors, and institutions, we have an important role in creating safe and supportive learning environments. We need to combine technology with empathy, innovation with technique, and academic guidance with personal care. Hopefully, after this session, we are not only familiar with the concept of Gen Z guidance and counseling, but also more motivated to become better listener and better supporter for our students. Once again, on behalf of the committee and all participants, we would like to express our sincere appreciation to Mr. Wazir Ali for sharing his knowledge, experience, and perspective with us today. And to all participants, thank you very much to your active participation. As announced earlier, participants may obtain the e-certificate by filling in the attendance form provided by the committee at the end of the event. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our discussion session. I will now return to the program to our MC, Ms. Safira, for the next agenda. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, thank you. Let's do some applause for our moderator, Mrs. Rosa, and also our speaker, Mr. Wazir Ali, for guiding and conveying us through a discussion with new and insightful knowledges which related to our theme of today's event. So, ladies and gentlemen, as a token of appreciation to our speaker, Mr. Wazir Ali, M.A., M.Ed, M.Phil from School Education Department, Ministry of Education, Balochistan, Pakistan, who have guided and supported the visiting lecture 2026. I would like us to Mr. Ali to stand in the center of this front side of auditorium of the Faculty of Science and Technology of Universitas Terbuka, and I would like to invite the Dean of Faculty of Science and Technology and also the Vice Dean, Dr. Sita and also Dr. Pepi, to deliver a certificate of appreciation. Please, at the center of this side of this auditorium. So, Universitas Terbuka will give a little present to our speaker, Mr. Wazir Ali from Ministry of Education, Balochistan, Pakistan. The first certificate of appreciation will be delivered by Dean of Faculty of Science and Technology of Universitas Terbuka. Okay. And then we will deliver a plaque. A plaque that will be delivered by the Vice Dean for Academic Affairs of Faculty of Science and Technology of Universitas Terbuka. This is the iconic state of Indonesia called Wayang. This is a plaque from Universitas Terbuka. Just take the plaque only, it's possible. And it's handed by the Vice Dean for Academic Affairs of Faculty of Science and Technology of Universitas Terbuka. And the last thing, the souvenir, a little present that will be delivered by Dr. Pepi Rospina Pertiwi as the Vice Dean for Student Affairs, Learning Services and Partnerships at the Faculty of Science and Technology of Universitas Terbuka. Okay, sir, madam, please remain on stage. We will have a photo session together with all the audiences that are already attending in person in auditorium. So I would like to ask to all participants who are attending this event in person in auditorium to come to the front to have a photo session together with all of the executive boards of Faculty of Science and Technology of Universitas Terbuka and with the honorable speaker, Mr. Wazir Ali, M.A., M.Ed, M.Phil from Ministry of Education, Pakistan. And I would like to ask to all online participants to open camera to have a photo session together with us. So don't forget, we will have a 3 session. So the first pose is a formal pose. The second pose is semangat pose. And the last pose is the iconic pose of Universitas Terbuka, Salam UT. Okay. I guess Mr. Ali already recognized the Salam UT iconic pose, yeah? Okay. Okay, so the first pose is the formal pose. I will do the countdown from 3, 2, 1. Okay, and next pose is semangat pose. Okay, we will count down from 3, 2, 1. Okay, and the last pose is the iconic pose, Salam UT. Okay. Okay, we will do the countdown in 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you. Let's give a round of applause for us all here. You can have your seat again. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank our honorable speaker once again, Mr. Wazir Ali, M.A., M.Ed, M.Phil, and also our executive boards of Faculty of Science and Technology of Universitas Terbuka, and our moderator, Mrs. Rosa. I would like to say thank you, and we have reached the end of today's event. On behalf of the committee and the whole faculty and colleagues, we would like to extend our gratitude for our speaker and all of the participants for your contribution in this event. We hope today's event become a great experience for you to share knowledges, experiences, and inspirations. So once again, my name is Vira. I'm signing out. Thank you and have a good afternoon. Hope to see you again on the next visiting lecture. Okay, once again, I would like to remind to all participants, don't forget to fill the attendance form by scanning the QR code that already shared by the committee on the screen. So you gotta have to fill the attendance form and you will get a certificate of appreciation. So once again, I would like to ask to all participants to fill the attendance form by scanning the QR code that already shared by the committee on the screen. And after filling the attendance form, you will get a certificate of appreciation. Once again, thank you.